Let's go. Imagine you're in a high school. It's hard, right? You've been playing football your whole life, and the school's team is your best shot. Except because of a drug problem, you are forced to do a drug test mandated by the school just to participate in football. This is the key issue that surrounds the Supreme Court case Vernonia School District 47J versus Acton.
Is this fair to you? This school defied the Fourth Amendment and participate in unreasonable search and seizure. That's the question for today's episode of Podcast.
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 Okay. Um, the argument was that the school violated James' Fourth Amendment rights, causing protection against unreasonable search and seizure. What they should have done was have a probable cause and a warrant with their drug test.
Well, Caden, did they even violate his rights? A school is an interesting environment where students don't really have the exact same level of rights as a full-fledged adult. Meaning did they really violate his rights or did not have the rights to begin with?
Students do have the rights of the Fourth Amendment, but only to the extent of the school's need to maintain a safe environment for all students. If they believe that some activity is happening which violates the school policy, they are able to search within reason.
Great transition, Caden. Now we can discuss what we believe the right ruling is.
I mean, in the end, safety is the most important thing, right? So the Supreme Court should vote in favor of the schools.
Not exactly. If the Supreme Court votes in favor of the school, this could set a very dangerous precedent for the future. If any suspicionless searches could occur, this would lead to many problems, as students could have all their belongings randomly searched without even doing anything wrong. This could lead to dangerous discrimination against certain students.
That is true, and I do agree, but I do think they will have a limit to this. I agree that privacy is the most important thing for students, but safety should be the top priority, even if it means taking away some privacy.
Your point is also very valid. I believe the solution is found in the balance between needed safety measures and the school's respect for the students.
What is also very interesting is how the school targeted athletes only and not students in general.
Yes, that is very interesting. I guess that the athletes would be at a larger risk if they were using drugs, as they could be physically injured them, as they could physically injure themselves and other athletes.
Yeah, you're right. Now I wonder what the Supreme Court ruled.
Well, the court had the same thought process as you. They believed that the school had the right reasons to conduct this, saying that the reasonableness of a search is judged by balancing the intrusion on the individual's Fourth Amendment interests against the promotion of legitimate governmental interests.
I see. That's a very interesting take from the court. While I did see them take the side of the school, I did not expect them to say what it was worth, the cost of letting go of some people's Fourth Amendment rights. But where do they draw the line? Backpacks? Phones? This is a very slippery slope.
It is a very interesting stance. The Supreme Court is meant to protect the rights of citizens, though arguing against unjust laws from the government or from other parties, such as schools. You know what, Caden? I agree with how the court should rule, and the Supreme Court's actual ruling on the case. I believe for the greater good, as in the school, benefits from these small incursions into Fourth Amendment rights.
I completely agree. The court also noted the overall confidentiality of the case, only having the students do a urine sample, then having only limited authorities view the results of said samples. They mentioned that this minimal intrusion is inconsequential to the overall number of hands the sample would have to go through.
Also, I even think it's completely beneficial for students as the test would discourage them from taking drugs and stop the incentive to try them in the first place. Starting drugs at 12 years old is pretty insane and could ruin a student's whole life. So any mitigation is great.
Now, what do you think are some repercussions or consequences of this ruling? Do you think there would be any lasting effects or implications on us as students?
Well, Caden, there are a few issues with this specific ruling. I mean, students could be unfairly discriminated against for any reason at all if their sample is being treated in an incorrect way. Discrimination is everywhere, and I feel that this is a real consequence that could affect many.
Going back to the rights question, students do also have limited rights in schools when in comparison to the average adult. This implies that students are not necessarily equal to members in society, which could lead to another case such as Acton v Vernonia. Imagine you just joined the marching band or debate club and they just have you do a random drug test. That would be pretty insane.
You're never gonna believe it.
There's no way.
Earls versus Board of Education was very similar to Vernonia versus Acton, but this time it was regarding all extracurricular activities. The court again had ruled that it is necessary means to the cause of deterring and preventing drug use.
I see. They are both very similar in a lot of aspects. But overall, the key takeaway is that as a student, you have limited rights. And even those rights could conflict with school policy, especially with health, safety, and order in and out of the school day.
You're completely right. So, as a message to leave this episode of podcast with, I want you to research some of your rights and see if your school is breaking them.
It's also a great excuse to go visit the Supreme Court.
You already know it. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.